Jonathan Roxmouth and Graham Hopkins are joining me in studio now. These three actors opened at Jeeves and Wooster last night, and it was extremely hilarious. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Thank you for coming in after opening night. You must be exhausted.
A bit. We're all right. Yeah.
Now, what kind of reception did you have from the audience last night?
Well, I think initially they were a little puzzled as to what this giggly fool was doing there. Me.
That's you, for those of you who haven't seen the play.
But what was very apparent to us is by the end of Act 1, everybody sort of bought into the fact that this really is perfect nonsense. And by sheer coincidence, that's the name of the play.
It is, yeah.
How convenient.
Yes.
You know, I actually didn't know what to expect last night when I saw the play. And it was absolutely hilarious. And I love all the different characters you two play. They were amazing. Now, tell me about rehearsals. I can only imagine that they were off the wall.
They were off the wall. A lot of laughter, a lot of sweat, a lot of panic. All of it, all at once.
Now, when you're trying to get into character to play all of these different characters, let's start with you, Graham. How do you get into that mindset?
Well, for me, I think it's a question of finding the voice. And with the voice comes the physicality. So, I played Jeeves, who's terribly proper and really hardly ever moves his face.
You're very good at it.
And so he did. And then a minute later, he's playing Stephanie Bing, who's wearing a frock and frightfully and carrying a dog. See? And
a stuffed dog, at that.
No. Bartholomew's not stuffed. He's completely real. How dare you?
Sorry.
So that for me is where it starts, and then the physicality kind of comes underneath that. If you find the voice, then you begin to find the character. We've had enormous fun.
Yeah.
It's one of the most challenging things I think I've ever done. Backstage is funnier than what you guys see. And I've said to Peter Tarim, he really should sell tickets for Backstage.
Absolutely.
It's absolute madness.
Now, Jonathan, you're the star of the play. You narrate the story. Why don't you introduce us to your character and tell us how you got into that mindset?
Well, I play Bertie Wooster, who is he's described in the blurb as an affable fool, and he is sort of a stupid, lovingly stupid aristocrat who has taken on his manservant Jeeves, and he just wants to tell everybody about a perfectly frightful weekend that I recently spent at Totlet Towers. And Seppings, the other butler that Robert plays, comes to lend a hand at the theatre. And what follows is a very ridiculous retelling of what happened last week. And by the end of the play, I mean, we've had 9 characters on stage between the three of us. I have the easiest job in the world because I just play Bertie from beginning to end.
Right.
These two poor gentlemen play the rest, and I get to sit back with the audience and have a ball. So it's a fun thing. I do agree with Graham. It is by far the hardest thing I've ever done.
Really?
Because I come from a musical background. I just do musicals normally, and to do a play now is far more challenging because you haven't got a chandelier to hide behind or anything like that. And what's lovely, I mean, Robert and I, 8 years ago when I was doing Beauty and the Beast, were sitting in the flat at Theatre on the Bay, and he said to me, "Don't you want to come and do a play one day?" I said, "Absolutely." And so 8 years later, in the very same building, there we are, finally.
Yeah.
Now, I need you to do that nervous laugh for me, just once.
The laugh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's early, this might come out straggling. Yeah, that just happened.
Amazing. Now, Robert, why don't you introduce us to the characters you play? You also play a whole slew of them.
I think about 5 of them. I'm still counting, I'm not sure. I play Seppings the butler. I play his Aunt Dahlia. Roderick Spode, who's the big baddie, who gets bigger and bigger as the show goes on.
Literally.
Ends up being about 9 foot tall. I play Butterfield the butler. Constable Oates the policeman.
And shop proprietor.
And shop proprietor. Yeah.
And you also walk the dog, don't you?
Yes. I have 2 dog fights, actually. Yeah. I get attacked twice by a dog.
I want to talk about, yeah, you do. I want to talk about you growing to 9 feet tall. What is that contraption that you're standing on?
It's a bit of genius that Greg King, the designer, built. It's a wooden frame with a huge leather jacket, and I wheel it on and step into it and pop my head out the top like a gigantic, frightening turtle.
Did you have any mishaps with that
Not yet.
contraption?
It's close ones.
Yeah, some close
that
ones.
for me is the best part of the show. Is when Spode comes and goes up through the top of that jacket. Highlight of the show for me.
Now, I imagine as actors you're all very used to this, but I just die when I hear the audience. You know, the reactions from the audience on stage. Do you have to hold back your own laughter when you hear how some people are reacting in the audience?
Often.
So I've got the biggest problem because I'm the only one who actually can't go because I can never look like I'm in on the joke. The whole charm of Bertie is that he's completely gormless and he doesn't know what to expect. But when you've got Robert coming on stage as Butterfield with a gammy leg, and then you've got Graham as Sir Watkin pushing his pipe into your nose like this, closer and closer during an intense monologue, it's hard not to. But when we do go, and it happens now and again, we don't allow ourselves to go completely. But
No,
just on the end, because then I get this look from Graham. He'll demonstrate for you. He just looks, and that's all you need. That's all you need. And you're well behaved again. But the other night we had a wonderful bit in Act 2. I get out of the bath nude.
Are you actually nude?
Go on then. Yes.
Because I was thinking, if something goes wrong here.
Oh yes, no Graham has me by the well, but
It's short and curly.
it is. But I was on my way out of the bath, and a lady in the balcony said, "Oh, do carry on."
I didn't hear that.
It was difficult to. Well, it was in the dead silence that followed. So we've had our moments.
Now, how long is the play running at the Theatre on the Bay?
We're running until the 8th of November.
And then, are you going off touring somewhere else? Or?
Yes, we are. Going to Johannesburg until January, and then it's going to Durban in February.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. So you have lots of time to refine the characters and find more things to laugh about.
Oh, and we will. But everything is on CompuTicket, so you'll find all the details there for Jeeves and Wooster in Perfect Nonsense.
Great. Thank you all for coming in and joining us so early. You can go back home now and get some rest.
Oh, we will. We most certainly will.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.